and we'll get to you. We'll be recording on this side. We'll start with Zoran, and then we will still waiting for the team to get back, and then we will jump to Lattanzio after this when the team is back. So again, if you do have a question, please raise your hand, and I will let Alex start it off. You're on mute there. No. Alex, can you hear us? We don't have you, Alex.
How about now?
We got you now. There you go.
Okay, sorry. My boomerness is being revealed. Zoran, congratulations on both the signing of Christian and yourself. Just generally speaking, are you high and positive on the trajectory of the team going into its first off season?
Yes, very much so. I think it's there are a lot more positives that we can take from the season one. Also had some challenges, some setbacks that I think are normal for most of organizations, especially new ones and especially sport organizations. So that's nothing new. That's nothing unsurprising. But I think this team proved that when it comes to decision making, we are ready and able to make decisions and to kind of make decisions that will be benefiting the club as a whole and the organization as a whole. So yes, I'm very positive. I think we done a good job in a year one. We hope to continue and improve and add and have a Charlotte FC 2.0 rather than 1.0 that we had for year one. So there will be upgrades on all levels.
Just one quick follow-up to that. What are some of those challenges that you mentioned?
Well, first of all, the challenge is that being a new club, it's everything is done from the zero, we obviously, when you buy the player, you don't know, you watch the player, you met him, you watch him many times, you check with your scouting, and you still don't know how that player would fit in your team because you see him in a different team. The same goes for a lot of other people in organization, whether it's a scouting, a performance, medical, a coaching, all levels of at least what is under my supervision is you don't really know who you have until you have them and hire them. Yes, you see the resume, you see the CV, you do the series of interviews, but this is all done through the pandemic and COVID, and we did not have a privilege of meeting a lot of these people. So it's way easier now because if we're hiring someone, we can ask them to come or we can fly and see those people and see for ourselves. But so this is one of the challenges. Second challenge, of course, we want stability in the club. I believe in a long-term coach, and so to change a coach after 5 months is not ideal at any club, let alone a new club like us. So that was going against my personal belief how you need to give a coach a chance to prove himself and to express his ideas and to build something. But we did not change the coach because of that, because we changed the coach because culturally the fit was not there, and it was almost impossible to work on a daily basis.
All right. Thanks, Alex. We'll go over to Ashley.
Hey, Zoran, appreciate your time today. And again, echoing Alex's congratulations on the extension. You've been with this club since the beginning, pre-pandemic, 2019. You were the very first hire. How have things changed heading into this? Obviously, like you mentioned, there was a pandemic. There was a lot of change within year one, but heading into year two, how are you going to approach building this roster, and what do you take away as kind of being the flagship and the cornerstone of this organization over the last going on 3 years now?
Well, look, I think the organization faced some tough times. There were some storms gone our way. we managed to steady the ship, but I also we made a lot of mistakes. I mean, everybody, including myself. But that's normal. I don't know anybody in the world. I never met anybody, whether it's the president of the biggest country in the world, the most powerful country, to the normal person driving a bus. It doesn't make mistakes. We all make mistakes. The idea is how quickly we learn from those mistakes, how quickly we change those mistakes into something that we can learn from and improve. And this is exactly what we're doing. We now know the league actually better. We understand the league better. We know what the league, what are the challenges, specific challenges of the league, whether on a micro or actually macro level for the league. So I think there is no doubt that we will address all the pitfalls and all the problems and all the issues that we have. We want to improve everything, and I'm not talking only about players. I'm talking about the medical performance. We're building a brand new data analytics department. We already had one person covering data analytics. Now we're building the whole department. I don't know if anybody else in MLS has a whole department consisting of 3 or 4 people. I doubt. Not many clubs in the world have a full whole department. So we're trying to kind of improve on any level possible to kind of be better as a club, as an organization, as a person, as a people in general.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ashley. Jorge, take it away.
Hey, Zoran. My question is in regards to year 2. What should the fans' expectations be? Is playoff a realistic option for Charlotte? Is that something that you guys have talked about?
Yes, I mean, for us is a continuation of build. We always had a 3 years plan from the very beginning, and the first year was to build the base, to build the block that we can continue building and improve the club. So then year 2 is the second year in that 3 years plan of building the club into a powerful club. What we want to do, we want to create a club that is not a yo-yo club, that 1 year is in playoffs, 2 years is not, and 1 year is in playoff. We want to create a club that is consistently and strongly always competing and is always in playoff. And in a 5 years period or 7 years period is a shock for our fans if we are not in playoff, not the other way around.
Awesome, thanks. And then I know
for that you can't just build quickly, because we had a recent expansion clubs who try to build quickly, but potentially almost artificially a strength and depthness of the roster, and it usually doesn't work out. So we wanna kind of have a more kind of organic way of building.
Nice. And then I know one of the things that was apparent, especially this season, was that lack of the creative roles in this team. You mentioned that was a priority for you in the summer window. Going into next season, is an attacking midfielder a priority for you, or do you guys see using Karol Swiderski in that more of that free role?
We will probably look at 4 or 5 positions that are priority for us. I would not like to specify one. Right now we have a Nuno Santos as attacking midfield, and we have a Karol Swiderski as attacking midfield, who is / striker. And if we have 2 of them, then maybe another attacking midfield might not be the first priority. But we're looking at all the options. We have other, if you guys want to know, I mean, we're looking at from the striker to midfielders to the wingers. What we want to do is improve. So if you look at our current winger, can we improve on him? Can we bring someone who is clear improvement, not someone that takes 3 years? We have some players that we're building into the better players, like a Wagner, who is the Kevin Vargas, who is under 22 initiative, and those kind of players are players who we kind of try to build every year better. They're young, they're 20. Adisa Malanda is only 20. So these kind of players we hope to kind of get better and better every year. But we're now looking for the players who will slot in straight away.
Awesome. And then last question is, 2 options that you guys didn't pick up were Aful and Fuchs. Will they be part of year 2's plan, or have you guys not made a decision on that yet?
We made to both of them specific offers that we believe are right offers for their moment in their life and their careers, and it's up to them. We're waiting for them to basically come back to us with either yes or no, or some sort of acknowledgement of that. But we were in open negotiations and discussions with them, and so the both players had an offer of a kind on a table.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jorge. Carol?
Hey, Zoran, congratulations on your extension and the Christian deal. I just wanted to back up for a second and ask you, how did you find Christian? Who recommended him, and why did you get him to begin with?
I know Christian from Europe. Christian is, for the many people who are part of the soccer scene in Europe, a well-known personality. I also have I had a very good connections with City Group over the years, being an agent, and therefore I knew a lot of people from the City Group. And City Group is one of probably the best organized soccer club in the world, and a group in the world. They're very smart how the way they do the way they recruit, the way they follow and track the emerging talents, whether those talents are in a soccer side or in coaching side or in a business side. So they're very smart group. So sometimes you look at what they do and try to copy or try to kind of get some ideas and some information. So I knew Christian. It was very difficult one, because Christian is very, very intelligent person, and in addition to being a great coach and great developer, and he did have a couple of offers on the table. One offer was well known, was the Crystal Palace, and then I actually managed to somehow persuade him that the Charlotte is his home. He was in London and looking at the contract from Crystal Palace, and he basically, and I was on a Zoom with him, and he basically showed me the contract, like a first page of contract, saying, I don't know what to do. I really feel, my gut feeling saying to me Charlotte, but my family, my financial situation, my everything saying, hey, go to Premier League. I mean, the offer on the table, I don't know, but it must have been triple the amount that we finally agreed. I mean, it's a Premier League. We're talking the richest, the best in the world. The second offer he had recently from a big Champions League club in Europe to come as assistant coach, and he turned it down, and he said, "Look, I want to be part of the Charlotte journey. I believe in this project. I think we can create something very special here."
Well, now you hired him, as an assistant, and then made him the head coach. What has he shown you, this stretch run of the season that you didn't know about him before?
Carol, one of the reasons why we've done this way, because we are club-led model. We're not allowing a head coach or a manager to bring an entourage of 6-7 like happens in a large number of clubs around the world. Because I think that actually disrupting the flow and the relationships within a club, between the front office, the coaching, the business side, the actually other departments as well. So the reason why we brought Christian was to develop, to be an experienced assistant, especially given the fact that the previous coach was very young. So I thought this would be perfect kind of balance. And also it was always in a case that we lose the coach for whatever reason, we have someone who can always step in for either short period or obviously now for the much longer period. But so if you like, it was almost a plan B, but I think this is every responsible club organization should always have a plan B or even C.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. Will?
Zoran, echoing the congratulations from everybody. Just as a point of clarification, I know you said you were going to be very thorough about whether it was Christian or an outside candidate. Was it always about Christian, or did you entertain a potential outside candidate after reviewing the season?
We wanted to follow the rules of the league and procedures that the league insisted on, and we accepted it. So we did interview external candidates, but to be very honest, Chris was always a very strong candidate because simply he impressed us all, myself included. I mean, the way he behaved, the way he developed the club, the way that his methodology, his work on the training. You watch some of these trainings, the intensity, the bond between the players and him. incredibly strong. The players like him. The players want to play for him. The player want to give a little bit more to him. He has a fantastic relationship with myself and the front office. He has a good relationship with gentlemen and the ladies of the press, I believe, as well. So I think in all, he's a fantastic package. I mean, it's really the package that in ideal world we should have him from the day one.
What was the moment, whether it was a game, a training session? When did you know you had your head coach?
It wasn't a game, but it was clarity of his ideas that actually won me over. It wasn't the game. It was never the game. I don't believe in a 1 game or 3 games. You can lose 10 games. Sir Alex Ferguson lost first 8 games in charge of Man United and then won everything for many, many years. So you need to give up time. But what I like about Christian, he has a very clear idea how he wants to train, how he wants to play, how he wants to handle players, how he wants to manage the players. Very, very clear. He knows exactly what he wants. And that's pretty unique. That's already a big bonus.
And lastly, from a continuity standpoint, how important is it to not only keep yourself in place, but keep Thomas, keep Lissandro, continue to build on that? What does that mean? And I guess also you mentioned Christian's role with the front office. You know, what role will you see with him when it comes to player development as well, and player selection, I should say?
Well, I think you guys all agree that this is, yeah, you can get a franchise and be expansion club, but what we're trying to build here is identity, culture, philosophy of the club, something that will last for generations to come. When I'm not there, when I'm with Christian was not here, with a lot of other people, we're trying to build something that when you go to Liverpool, when you go to Celtic, you go to the Galaxy, or you go to a lot of other Sporting Kansas City, they already have. We don't. We're building. We need to build. We need to build this kind of a bond with the fans, with the community, with the city, which I think the great work was done this year, but we need to continue doing this. And this is why the stability of the club and continuity is so important, because how can we actually build a bond with the fans and community, and if he changing the coach, the sporting director, the sports scouting director every 6 months or 18 months, so I think we all looked at internally what we done wrong, what we done good. We had a lot of these discussions and meetings about how we can improve, but all in all, I think we done a good work, everybody, with the Chris at the top as a head coach, and I think it's incredibly important that the head coach and the front office see eye to eye, and also that they are happy to listen to each other and understand the reasoning for each side. Once you have that, then really everything else is much easier, and make
well said.
Thomas' job and Christian's job much easier.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will. Eric.
Hey, Zoran, I wanted to ask you if you could give us an update maybe on the plans for the training center, and then some perspective on if you're in there by the start of next season, how that might help. Do you think that'll make a tangible difference for the team?
The training center is not exactly under my kind of supervision, so I don't really know every single detail. The best thing is to talk to Joe Lebu on that front, but I believe the training center would be ready soon after we start the playing. This is, I think, is the plan, and I think it'll be a home, and everybody's home is their castle, as not, how they say. So we wanna feel at home. We wanna have a home, and especially that what we're building a home for not only a first team, but for the MLS Next Pro, for the academy, for the business side of the group, for the front office. So everybody will be together, and that would actually provide us with chance to kind of have a better interaction, better communication, and probably better results.
And one follow-up, I just wanted to ask you, everyone knows that the atmosphere at the games was great and you had good turnouts. I'm just curious, you're talking about building a culture. What has that done for you so far, and how do you think that carries forward?
I think this is one of the most important, and I'm really proud how the club actually built this culture between the fans, a community, a city, and the players. And if you come for the games and then you see what happens after the games, and how, I mean, not many clubs in the world you have this kind of interaction between the fans and a game, and the kind of practically a love from both sides being openly kind of given and shared. So I think we need to continue. I don't think that the 35,000 average should be our aim. I think we should improve on that. We should bring more interaction with the community. We should try to kind of reach further to the South Carolina and North Carolina. We should really position ourselves and work hard to position ourselves as a pride of the both Carolinas.
Thank you.
All right, Sam.
Hey, Zoran, and congratulations. Hope you've had a good couple of weeks off.
What does he mean off? Tell me, please. Explain.
So I know we're going to speak to Christian shortly, but one of the things that, we and Christian talked about a lot over the past year was identity, in building the club's identity. If you had to sum up what you think the identity of Charlotte FC is at this point, what would you say it is?
I'll say that we are ambitious, progressive, attacking, playing style football. I would use some of those characteristics. That we want to be very progressive. We want to be attacking minded. We want to be the club that entertains our fans first and foremost, but generally everybody else who watches our games.
And then my last one, is there any place on the depth chart where you aren't satisfied where the team is right now, and what would you be looking to change in the off season?
Sam, yeah, the simple answer is yes. The more complicated answer is I'll never be happy and satisfied with the roster. There's always room for improvement. If you go to Man City now and watch the game and they beat someone 5-0, you think maybe the left back is the weak link. Can we find better? So that's I believe that Christian Lattanzio and I share as a belief and as a opinion. We can always do better. It can always be better.
All right. I think Sam froze for a bit. So Ashley.
Speaking of the roster, there's an additional roster that'll be coming in 2023 with the addition of MLS Next Pro. What sort of updates can you give us on how that roster build will be going on? I know that you announced the head coach over the summer, but what does the roster look like? How is all of that taking shape?
We have some hybrid player, the team right now that has been playing some friendly games. We're trying to kind of give a chance to a lot of players, local South North Carolina players, to see their potential. But the roster will look differently in January, February, after the preseason finishes. I'm really proud that if you go back to Christian Lattanzio and the Carol question, how did I get Christian Lattanzio? My continuation of this question would be, how did I get Jose Tavares? Because Jose Tavares was a highly taught and one of the incredibly good and important coaches in Europe for the youth development. He has also offered from the Premier League to be assistant. He turned it down. He had offer from Belgium to be a head coach of the team. He turned it down to come to be MLS Next Pro coach. So that's another proof of how seriously this club and this organization takes the youth development and development of the academy and the players from North and South Carolina. We really want to develop our own stars. We don't not necessarily, and I think I said this very early on in one of the interviews, we not necessarily want to buy the stars. We would also like to develop our own stars.
Speaking of which, Quinn McNeil went under the radar for a lot of people this season, and he spent a bit of time with the independents in League One, as well as with the first team. Is he someone that you expect to be with the first team next season, or perhaps he'll be a building block like he was originally intended for MLS Next Pro?
It's a good question. Right now, I wouldn't be able to say who will not be, because simply we have a lot of time ahead of us, and also there's a 2 months of preseason where a lot of things might happen, and a lot of players will have a chance to prove that they are better or than someone else. And this is exactly why we have a preseason, to kind of fine tune the whole team. I think he has done very, very good for us. He was one of those gems that Christian Lattanzio unearthed and somehow found and believed in them and gave them a chance. It's up to those players to kind of continue working hard and continue developing and trying to get into the roster, into the first 11 or on a bench, because I think our team will be stronger next year. So there'll be a bigger task for every young player, but this is how it should be. So if they can get into that team, then they improved.
Will there be a continued relationship with the independents, or does the addition of your own Division III team kind of eliminate the need for that relationship?
We didn't sit down with them, but I think we had a very good relationship with them. I'm very pleased how that actually gone and that relationship developed. We tried to help them, they helped us and our players. So it was a perfect kind of perfect partnership, if you like. So yes, if there is opportunities to continue, yes, we will look at that seriously.
How many of those players, perhaps locals like Shalom Duty and so forth, who have come through, they played in USL League One, they've played in USL Championship, how many of them will have an opportunity to make that transition into MLS Next Pro and perhaps even get a look for the first team?
We're openly looking at all of them, and we really thinking highly of USL as a league. There are a lot of interesting players there that we think we can maybe improve. So that there would be some players coming into MLS Next Pro for sure, and then if they improve enough and they work hard enough, and then who knows, they might end up playing for the Major League Soccer team. But that's a trajectory. This is what we want to do. We want to have players who are ready to step in, like Quinn McNeil done, like Chris Hager done on a few occasions, like Koa Santos done on a few occasions. So this is a perfect also this is a perfect opportunity for the players that we're trying to recruit, to tell them, look, you're not ready, but look, you will always get a chance. We are a club that give the chance to a young player.
Last but certainly not least, a little bit older on the spectrum, Gabriel Oberton was on trial with the club, and it bugged you about him a lot over the last year, but he's still here locally, having played with the Independents, been on trial with obviously FC, and then spending the season in League One. Is he someone who, now that perhaps he's a little bit further along in his green card process, would be someone you'd look in to bring in as a winger?
He's a lovely personality, great pro, a really good professional. We liked him, but I don't think this is realistic anymore, because I think he's it's not something we're looking at to explore further.
And, one more, if I may, where will the home for MLS Next Pro be in terms of, they'll obviously be training at the facility in East Charlotte with the first team in the academy, but where will they play their matches?
Well, we're looking at various options, but right now the Matthews is one of the strong candidates, the Matthews Sports List.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I think we're going to end it there, and we will have Christian to you guys shortly. Thank you, Zoran, for your time and speaking with us today.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, guys.